Ready? Okay, so today I'm going to talk a little bit about how I made my first $10,000 month in my second month of dropshipping. I'm going to break down some of the core tenets that I think largely contributed to my success here. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Speed. When it comes to speed, let's see here. Let's pause this. So here's the thing. Speed is probably the most important thing on this entire list. If you're anything like me, who's probably slightly ADD, like undiagnosed ADD, you need very quick feedback in order to be motivated to continue working on something. Now, this also still does tie into like the whole resilience and faith thing. Like, you do need this, but speed is probably the most important thing. You need to execute on everything as fast as possible. If you're operating with speed as a priority, it's going to inform your decisions on all of these things that I have listed here. So when it comes to audience selection, if I assume that you're watching a lot of dropshipping content, if this has popped up on your feed whatsoever. I picked an audience that everyone talks about being able to sell to with pretty good success very consistently, which is women's apparel. And I picked this because I knew that if I worked on it long enough, someone would buy eventually. Because, I mean, just by the nature of what it is, you know, women like clothes and are kind of willing to buy it from whoever, as long as the clothes look good and the branding looks good. And you know what I mean? It doesn't take a lot of branding and messaging to convince women that your clothes are cool enough for them to buy, especially at a decent price point. And that's another thing, not just women, but specifically I was picking women that had a decent amount of money. I adjusted all of these things below, like the branding, the product selection, all of that, to target women with money. And I'll get into that in a bit. But with branding, it was very simple. It was a typeface logo with a slight arch to it. I picked a name in which the letters looked good next to each other and gave it an arch, and I picked a typeface that I thought was clean and easily memorizable. In terms of product selection, I got this wrong at first. Like I said, speed is going to inform a lot of your decisions here. If you pick a product that people are in dire need of immediately, they'll convert a lot quicker without you needing to build up a tremendous amount of brand loyalty and like trust and messaging beforehand. Now, I put brackets around product selection and creative strategy because these things are very tightly interwoven. If your goal is to make money fast in dropshipping, you're just going to rip and copy everything as much as you possibly can. You're going to rip and shortcut as much as you possibly can. And your product selection genuinely should come from finding creative to rip. You're only going to pick products that are seen in high performing organic creative. What does this look like? You're going to find videos that are performing tremendously well, that have a really engaged audience with the articles of clothing in them, and then you're going to find those articles of clothing on Alibaba or anywhere else on the internet. If you need some help with that, just let me know. DM me, leave a comment. I'll reach out to you. If people are looking for the clothes, find those videos, rip them, like download them, put your branding over them, and then run Facebook ads over it. So yeah, that's product selection and creative strategy. Now, when it comes to web design, find another website that's operating at a scale that you can't even imagine. So like for me, I looked at Skims, copy their layout like 1-to-1 as close as you possibly can. But genuinely, from start to finish, to get all of this done. And now this was maybe the fourth store I've ever built in my entire life. It took me about 2 weeks because this was the first store that I've built in several years. It took me about 2 weeks to put together. I've built stores since this one. That's taken me 3 days to get from bare nothing to launched in 3 days. If you're a brand new beginner, you should be able to put a store together in 2 weeks and have it from zero to launched in 2 weeks if you're serious about it. So yeah, that's speed. And for whatever reason, women specifically had a really deep desire to have outfits for their vacations this year. Given that, I sold $10,000 worth of a swimsuit cover. That was how we made our money here. And so you just want to pick an audience with money. You want to pick a specific type of people with money. Women who are traveling have money. If you're traveling, you have some disposable income at hand. A very specific immediate need. They're traveling. They want, bikinis, outfits, like dresses specifically for the vacation that they're going on. And they want those products more than they care to have the money that they have currently. You just don't want to overcomplicate this. They just have to have an immediate need. And when you find a product that fulfills this immediate need, you don't have to work so hard and for so long to build up good like brand loyalty or like trust or anything like that. But the thing is picking the right audience is really crucial, because if you start targeting people who are very grounded and anti-consumer, then you're going to run into issues of people not wanting to spend money, even if they have a bunch of it. Like particularly older people, they may have a lot of money on paper, but also on average don't care to spend a whole lot of it because they're not making a whole bunch more. I think like old retired people, they're not traveling, they're not really spending a whole lot of money, even if they have a lot of it. And so it requires a lot more messaging and branding and communicating in order to convince them to spend money with you versus a woman who just wants a cute dress for her vacation. So that's audience selection. You have to, like, if your priority is making your dollars as fast, like making your first dollar as fast as possible, you don't really have time to make an overly intricate logo. You just don't. I kept it clean, kept it simple, and really you want to keep it simple regardless of what niche you're in. Keep it to like two neutral colors, like a black and a specific shade of black and a specific shade of white, and then one highlight color. In my case, it was pink. But the logo itself was very simple. It was literally a typeface that I thought looked good. I picked a word in which the letters looked nice next to each other, if that makes sense, and I gave it a slight arch, and that was it. And that was the same. That was the logo that I used on the website and across all the socials, and that was basically the only variation. I put that on everything, including like the favicon logo, like on the tab for Chrome. Just make it quick. It took all of an hour, less than an hour. It took like 10 minutes, honestly, like genuinely like 10 minutes to create the logo that I ended up using for everything. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Like really, if your goal is to make any money quickly, you can't really afford to spend time like wasting time on these things. Like I said, like 10 minutes genuinely. Just pick a typeface logo, pick a good typeface that looks good. Do some minor manipulations just to show that you gave it some thought, like throw a little accented letter in there, give it an arch, you know what I mean? Very, very small things. Do something that is somewhat adjacent to other brands that your audience are used to seeing and buying from. One more thing that I wanted to add in terms of branding, I think especially as beginners, I think the best thing that you can do for yourself is to create a brand that is not centered around a singular product. When you do that, if you pick the wrong product, you're gonna have to start over from scratch, and you're gonna get burnt out very quickly with creating a brand, creating a website, importing your product, like really building up all of the peripherals that are required to have a successful brand, just to end up having to scrap it if the product is wrong. So I think the best thing that you can do is to start a branded store in a niche that has the capacity for multiple products. Like I said, women, in my case it's women's apparel. I've heard people doing stuff like kitchen appliances, like all these things. You want to start a brand that you can work on for a extended period of time in the event that you pick your product wrong in the beginning, because you're likely going to do that if you're a beginner. You're not gonna have the eye for it, and you also don't really have a whole lot of money to continue like buying new domains, buying new Shopify plans over and over again. So create a brand that allows you to import and test multiple products within a niche. Like keep it specific. Like I said, I did women's apparel, but you can do things like furniture, kitchen appliances, like athleisure. Like you can do you can do an athletic brand. You can do shoes. I've seen people make a whole bunch of money with shoes or coats or hats, like, you know, socks even. Like I said, but develop a brand that has the capacity for you to test multiple products within the same niche. Next factor being product. You want to pick a product that fulfills on an immediate desire. Like I said, I targeted the traveling woman. She needs clothes for her vacation. Her vacation's coming up in a month or 2 weeks from now. So I need to go ahead and buy clothes now. I need to plan my outfits now. Given that, she's not really gonna care too much what brand she buys from, as long as the clothes are cute and they get there in time. Now, the timeliness factor is going to be a slight issue when you're drop shipping in the way that I was, but as long as you have good customer service, you communicate with people, and you order your products when you get the order, you'll be okay. And give some discounts to particularly frustrated people. They'll come back and buy from you again. So yeah, fulfills on immediate desire, is aesthetically pleasing. There are a lot of products that get drop shipped that may solve a problem or fulfill on an immediate desire, but they look like cheap crap. They look ugly. They look like they would feel ugly to have on or to have around in your house. So I think aesthetically pleasing is really important. People at the end of the day are emotional buyers first, and then they justify their reasoning later. They will make their decisions largely on how they feel about things, and for better or for worse, people are often very visually oriented and also pre-validated. This goes into your creative strategy also. Pre-validated, what do I mean by that? You need to pick a product that you already see people on TikTok. I think TikTok is probably the best place. You're going to see content first there. You want to pick a product that is already on TikTok and performing well, that people are already engaging with to an unusual degree. You want to pick a product that people are making videos about And in those videos, everyone is in the comments going, where is this? Where can I buy this? Where did you get yours from? You pick the right product, it just makes things a lot easier. And so like really, honestly, this is all about decision making. Like you have to make the right decisions on all of these things if you want to be successful in a specific time frame. And now when I first started this brand, I initially was selling like pajamas. I was selling like really cute pajamas, but the issue with pajamas is that it doesn't fulfill on an immediate desire. They are aesthetically pleasing. Maybe they are pre-validated, like, you know, women will see other women with these pajamas, but at the end of the day, you can sleep in anything, but you can't wear just anything to your vacation in Mykonos. You need something that's particularly cute that you may not have already. Like I said, I sold a swimsuit cover too, so that literally solves a problem. I'm going to the beach, I want to look cute at the beach, and I'm going on vacation. Like, I'm gonna buy this particularly cute swimsuit cover. So yeah, you want to pick the right product that will do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. Is if you pick the right product and if it's pre-validated with content online that's already performing well and people are engaging with and asking where it's from. So yeah, that's product. Okay, creative strategy. This is really simple. In my case, I went on TikTok, I looked up outfit of the day, what I wore today, I don't know, others like outfit, like just vacation outfits or whatever, these same search terms that were trending on Google Trends. I looked up some similar search terms, like what I wore to blank city. You know, just keep it simple. Look that up, scroll through, find high performing TikToks, high performing pieces of content. And this is what's going to inform your product selection. If you see a video about an outfit that's doing really well and people are asking where it's from, and you're able to source the product at a good enough price for you, you're just going to rip it and rebrand it. You're just going to download the video, throw some different audio over it if you can, and put your logo on the video and run paid ads on it. That was how I made this money. It was very simple. It was very straightforward. Now you may run into an issue if your paid ads are doing good enough. You may run into an issue of the original creator seeing that you are running paid ads with their content and that you have just thrown your logo on top of it, and they may reach out. All that happens there is you either pay them or you take it down, or both. But by that point, you would have probably made enough money to be able to pay them and it not really be an issue. Worst case is they will ask you to take it down and they may ask you to pay at the same time. That didn't happen in my case. I just got asked to do either or, and I ended up just taking it down and reshooting my own content with it. By the time, that's the thing, you really want to you want to rip and rebrand just so that you can test and validate, and then as soon as you can, you want to order it yourself and shoot your own creative. So yeah. And then I think the last thing that I want to close out here on is resilience and faith here. I built the store in 2 weeks. It took me 2 weeks to build the store from like scratch and then to get it launched. And then for the whole first month that it was launched, I didn't make like a single dollar because like I said, I was selling pajamas and there is no immediate need for pajamas. You can sleep in anything. But that whole time, and I was on the wrong platform. I think I was really trying to sell on Pinterest and do paid ads on Pinterest. And this is also why I say developing a brand that has the capacity for multiple products is really helpful here, because that whole first month while I was trying to figure out how to sell, I'm trying different pairs of pajamas. I had made the decision early on that I was going to stick with this brand until it made money. Pray and then work and get the work done. And it's literally boring. When I realized that I had made the $10,000 within a single month, and I think at the peak within a 30-day period, I had made 11,000 and some change. You look at that number and it's literally, you're not even excited about it. You're going to have to work so hard and for so long. Like, that was the thing. The first month I didn't make anything. Second month, then I generated $5,000 in revenue. And then the third month, which was the second month of running ads successfully, that was how I made this 10,000 plus. But you're going to work so hard every single day that it's going to feel inevitable. You're going to look at the number and you're going to go, I mean, well, no, it wouldn't make sense for me to have put in this amount of time and effort and not made the money that I am. So yeah. I really hope this video helps anyone who's starting out. Obviously, this really did not cover any of the technical skills that is required to pull this stuff off. But if you have literally any questions on anything technical, please reach out to me. I am actively looking to build my network. That's really what my goal is with this content, is just to connect with other like-minded people. And so if you have any questions on immediate technical skills, reach out to me. I will help as much as I am able to, and I am entirely free right now. So right now is your opportunity. I don't know how long that will be the case. I'll probably update the description of this video if I'm no longer available for just like free immediate help. But yeah, I really hope this video helps someone. I think just having all of these strategies and sort of thought processes laid out so cleanly, and especially prioritizing speed over almost anything here, because you can really fix any of the other problems that arise from this admittedly lazy sort of shortcutty way of winning here. But you can solve a lot of these problems just by executing extremely quickly. So like I said, reach out if you have any questions. I'd love to help. Thanks. And also, with resilience and faith, I want to say congratulations to you for even trying to do this. Something that I don't think it's talked enough about in business and starting business is that you are now stepping into sort of how nature sincerely works. When people get jobs, when you get a job anywhere, you are guaranteed income just for showing up. It doesn't really matter the quality of work that you put in. You may end up getting fired, you know what I mean, if you do a crappy job, but if you show up for even 1 hour, you will get paid for that hour. If it weren't for the society that we've built up and we were all responsible for feeding ourselves, if you just show up in the field and half-ass plant whatever, food that you need to survive for 1 hour, you will see no fruit from that labor. You have to work incredibly hard, incredibly intentionally. You need to do it right and timely in order to see any fruit. And then if you do all of those things correctly, you end up seeing tremendous fruit later. You will work every day flat out with speed and intention, and if you do it right, you will be paid handsomely for it. But if you don't, you will see nothing come of it whatsoever. And so you have to front load all of your time and effort and money and resources into something and do it correctly, and then wait while you're still working. And that's just how nature has always worked. But we've created a society in which you can show up for 1 hour of work, a couple of days a week, whatever, and still get paid for it, even if the payment that you receive is minor. And even if you end up getting fired later on, you could just get another job and do the same thing, where you just kind of halfway put in work, and from that little bit of work, you get paid tomorrow, basically. Versus when you step into business, you're going to, like I said, you're going to front load all of your time and effort and resources and money, like everything. You're going to pour everything that you absolutely can into it, and just have faith that if you do it right, if you truly give it your best, you will be rewarded handsomely for your efforts. This is the way that nature has always worked, but it's so unfamiliar that you may be inclined to quit before you see the results back. And so I just want to remind you of that when you're 1 month in, 2 months in, and you haven't made a single dollar yet. You just need to keep going. If you build things correctly and you keep refining, you keep iterating on things, you will win. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So you move quickly, you do things with intention, you perfect things over time. Eventually, it will click. I promise. You literally just have to keep going and have faith. In doing this, you are dipping your foot into the way the natural world operates, and a lot of it is actually based on faith. And you'll realize that very quickly. In the face of not much feedback, still pour forward anyway.